It's such a pleasure to see all of you again. And this is what I said last year. I said, like, this is a frame with so much beauty, so much talent. We don't need to speak. And I feel like that all over again. Also because PS1 was so amazing.
Thank you.
And genuinely, all of you were so good. It was so rich in emotion and beauty and just spectacle. And I want to start by just asking what that was like. Okay, this film is a blockbuster. Did you get together to party? Did you say all those 135 days of waking up at 3 a.m., going into makeup and then going to shoot at 6 a.m., it was all worth it?
Arriving at 3 a.m. Don't ask about the wake-up call. The wake-up is way earlier.
So did it feel like sort of vindication for all that rigor? Because this is a film, when we saw PS1, it was clear that a lot of work had gone in. What did that feel like?
So there was a lot of build-up around the film because people have read it so many times. There are multiple generations who have read this book and they're waiting for this film to be made. So there's a lot of pressure on us how they're going to accept, because there are two types of audience. One who have read the book and making sure it's true to the book. And there are other audience who don't know anything about it, who have to understand the story. So making both of them understand, you have to skip certain things to take it forward for the people who have not read it. I think that juggling, Mani sir did it so well. And the pace of the film was also like intact. In spite of the length of the film, it was just engaging throughout, That was something which worked brilliantly on screen. Like when I watched the film, I told Mani sir, this film has a very different rhythm. The way it flows, it's not like any other film because it doesn't stop anywhere. It just keeps flowing. That's the pace with which they narrated the story. And then when we saw, we had 5 o'clock morning shows, and usually there are only youngsters who come at early mornings. This time it was all old people. Guys coming with their moms. Mothers, all mothers waking up and coming in the morning. I'm getting goosebumps as I say
people
all
have come
that.
in even with their walkers, It's
It was
so...
a phenomenon. It was a
My
phenomenon.
God, so
and we're so happy to be
moving.
part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, usually people who read the book are very critical of a movie. I myself am one of those. But it was like he said, even the ones who read the book felt Mani sir did justice to all the characters. And I think Mani sir put a face to every character in the book.
Yeah. Now it's impossible to think of these characters without thinking of your faces. Vikram sir, you said at the audio launch of PS2 that like Aditya can't forget Nandini, I can't forget Aditya. Because he's such a fascinating character. And I was just thinking, when artists are part of something which is so momentous, right? And of course in terms of, it was a blockbuster, highest grossing Tamil film of last year, but also in terms of the connect with the audience, like people coming in at 5 a.m. and watching these films. Does it alter you permanently in some way when you become part of something that's a landmark like this?
It changes you, definitely. I don't know whether it humbles you or you start getting a little more haughty. I don't know, but and hot-headed. But I think it definitely, the impact of a film like this changes. And it wasn't just a blockbuster. I mean, it wasn't just the biggest blockbuster. I think it was something that was poignant with all of us because of the 70 years history that's been behind the book. So
it resonates, yeah.
And it resonates like that because every actor has been imagined in one of those roles through these decades. Every actor, like from Sivaji Ganesan sir and MGR till today. So being a part of something like that is wonderful. And when you feel that, like you say, we feel validated because after, it's not just the work, it's like so much of vision in it, like what Mani sir did, what Eka has done with the clothes, what Totadharani sir did with the set design and music, everything. I think even Rahman sir, when you speak to him and I tell him how's it come out, I mean, he never tells me, oh, it's nice, it's good. He says, it's a message. He feels something more deeper. Like the way he talks is, he's not even thinking of it as a movie. He just feels like it's just a dream come true. I think it's for all of us. And so you feel really good. Yeah. And another thing is we've been princes and princesses. Somewhere that stays back, in a little way. I don't know if it's good or bad.
Is it tough to become sort of, though I have to say movie stars in our country are royalty, no matter what. But is it tough to become commoners again, in a sense?
Yeah.
I'm missing the horse though.
It's like,
I'm missing the horse.
We don't look for bread anymore. It's always cake.
Aishwarya, for you being Nandini, easy to let go of that?
I don't think there's a question of letting go. It'll always live with me. I mean, there's no question of letting go. Working on a movie like this, in terms of the experience, like you're saying, the experience of making it and the way it has been received by the audience, I think each one of us have been left overwhelmed, immense gratitude, immense satisfaction as professionals, because at the end of the day, we're all artists. What do we look for? A very, very an experience that leaves you so content with bringing your characters to life, putting your all into living the character through the making, but eventually seeing that up there on screen within a narrative where it all fits just right, so real, rings true and rings correct. I mean, at the end of the day, while we'll, of course, and rightly so, every member who's been part of this film deserves to rejoice and enjoy the fruits of the result of the outcome in terms of the way it has been received or the numbers it has garnered and the appreciation that that everybody's taken home. But at the end of the day, it's a good film, and with the most brilliant director for all of us, and to work with superlative technicians in every aspect, and a great team, a great cast. We are all here, and all those who are not sitting with us as well.
I agree with the last
Each one of
especially.
them
The great
has,
cast.
each one of them have been true. This one, no, see, will take some time. True to Aditya Karikalan. Full Josh, but seriously, no. But but it's true. But it's true. I mean, humor aside, everybody is committed, earnestly. And that comes across, that rings true, and I don't think Mani would have it any different. Ravi has done magic, visually very easy on all, the vanity for all of us. Ravi is smiling as well, well, him too.
I saw that little flush that just came out. Yeah,
It's okay. I mean,
You did great too.
Yeah, you too. So, everyone.
He put it so well. Last year when we talked, you said we're all prisoners of Mani Sir's art.
Definitely.
And I think, yeah, exactly. It's a mic drop statement.
I think that.
है ना?
हाँ जी.
Bilkul. So I want to talk a little bit about how he gets performances out of you. Or like for you, that scene where you open the door and Nandini is with Veera Pandian, and that look in your eyes is so haunting. It's so heartbreaking. How does he bring that out of you? Are you co-creating characters?
For me, I think that was a very important scene which actually comes after a big battle and a chase and one more fight, and then it goes there, and then it was an elaborate scene which was suddenly comprised into just a couple of shots because it comes in the song. So I already had a description of what happens and what ensues. So when I had that shot, I realized that within those 3 shots, we had to communicate, and which is what Mani Sir also communicated with me. And he inspires you. I mean, he tells you everything, even what is not there in the book. So when I was there, I mean, I just had to open the door and it was already there, whatever I had imbibed from him. And I felt it. I mean, a lot of other people also asked me, specifically that shot. When you opened the door, what was it? What were you thinking? Actually, I wasn't thinking anything. I think it was all
feeling,
there.
for sure.
I mean, it was just
You're
the
feeling
moment.
it, yeah.
And the fact that I don't meet her at all in the whole film except there. So that was very significant for me as an actor. I know that it's that look when she looks at me, and you suddenly, maybe if I'd done a couple more scenes, that I may not have felt that, intense. So I know that in that place, I mean, we had to connect in some way, and it
That
happens,
one moment.
it's so organic.
But isn't that so magical about
Yeah,
Mani's
it is.
movies? He'll not spend necessarily so much around conveying that the intensity of that one moment. And that one moment will just say it all. It's
Absolutely.
And it actually-
magical.
You spent 135 days making 2 films. You've been promoting it, and now this is the last stretch, right? What are you going to miss most about Ponniyin Selvan?
Them.
Nothing.
yes.
I think, for me, it's Mani Sir and the
togetherness,
movie, but
yeah.
I think I'll miss the PR section the most.
That's so lovely, because mostly people say to us that this is the worst part. Promotions are the
Not
worst.
for us, actually.
No, today we were a little, I think
Yes.
this particular one we've been a little more serious, just a wee bit more serious.
Nice.
We
Is
got
it
to
each
spend
other?
kind of, I think, time collectively more on the promotions than
Because
probably with
all
the
of us are like,
making,
I've
because
hardly
all
met-
are playing.
I've not worked with the both of them.
Yeah.
And it's one scene with all of
It's
them,
all
including
different.
my heroine. So I.
We are just one phone call away from each other. That's all.
Yeah, and that time we didn't have phones. So.
Tenth century.
Listen,
I feel like we're all, I mean, it's a transient situation in general, and as actors, we're sort of mentally tuned to attached, detached, but somewhere we're always colored by the experience. The canvas always has a little bit of that. So I think that we carry
Poetry,
at
as
some
usual.
level.
How lovely.
So poetic. Yeah.
That is so poetic. Well, I cannot wait to see the film. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.